Hare Krishna. So we're going to sing a little bhajan, very nice bhajan, which was sung by Bhaktivedanta Thakur. He's over there, the last picture on the left. And this very, very popular song about Krishna in Vrindavan. Who's been to Vrindavan? Anyone been to Vrindavan? You haven't, stop lying. So Vrindavan is a beautiful place. That's the place where Krishna grew up, Gokul, in Jamuna. And Krishna's parents, who knows who Krishna's parents are? Yashoda and Nanda. So this is a song about Krishna living in Vrindavan. So if you can't visit Vrindavan, you can meditate about this holy place. Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Channa Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Channa Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Channa Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivragacharya Astottara Sata Shishimad, His Divine Grace Abhayachana Vindam Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Srila Sanatan Goswami Maharaj Ki, Srila Vyasadev Mahamuni Ki, Nitai Go Premanandi. All glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glories to Lord Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnanan Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militan Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatyade Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Seeking the blessings of everyone so we can say a few words to encourage you on your spiritual journey. Vanchakalpa Trubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patito Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So very, very happy to have you here today. Today, we are celebrating a very, very special occasion, Tithi. In the Vaishnava calendar, there are many, many festivals. Who likes festivals? We all like festivals. So we have many, many festivals. So today is a special festival called Guru Purnima. Guru Purnima. Anyone know what this festival is? What it is for? Guru Purnima. Anyone know what the festival for? Yes?
In honor of the Guru in general.
It's the honor of Guru. Yes, it's true. But there's a little bit more to it than that. Anyone knows? It is the birthday of Srila Vyasadev. We all know Vyasadev is the author of the Mahabharata. We know Vyasadev is the author of many, many literatures, and particularly Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vyasadeva represents the Adi Guru. He is the first Guru. So this is the lineage of the Guru of our Gaudiya tradition. We have Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, whose disciple is Srila Prabhupada, and it goes, and you can trace it back all the way to Srila Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva also has a very, very interesting janam. Normally we take birth, but Srila Vyasadeva's janam, his appearance is very, very unique. And it is said that his father was walking on the bank of the river Jamuna, and he wanted to be ferried across. So they didn't have any bridges in those days, maybe a wooden one or a bamboo one. But in this particular place, there was only a ferry boat going across to the other side. And the great sage Parasara Muni was walking by, and he needed to go across. And there was a very nice maiden who was ferrying people across. Anyone know who this maiden is? Satyavati. Can you say that? Satyavati. So it is said that she is blessed with a very special Ashirwad. Wherever she walks, she smells like roses. She smells like perfume. We don't have to put on any deodorant. We don't need to put some Chanel 5 on us. Imagine just being born and you just smell like roses. So this was the mother of Vyasadeva. So she was ferrying Parashara Muni, and then because she was so attractive, then he wanted to have a child with this maiden. And just by the glance of Parashara Muni, then Satya, what's her name, remember? She got pregnant. Now you've all heard about immaculate conception, is it? You know what immaculate conception is in Christianity? Anyone knows? It means that it doesn't need a Purusha, it doesn't need a man to impregnate a woman. Wouldn't be women so happy if you don't need a man? Get away with the man and you can just get pregnant just like that. I know some ladies would like that. But this was possible in the times before. So in this way, she got pregnant just by the glance. And actually, this material world also came to life by the glance of Krishna. Just by the materials that were made by Brahma. It's okay to have a car, but what's the important part of the car? The driver. So it's well and good having Prakriti, nature, but unless you have the driver or some Shakti for it to move, the car is pointless. So the glance of Lord Vishnu makes the whole world work. So in this way, the glance of Parashara Muni got her pregnant. Of course, imagine a young maiden going to home and finding out that she's pregnant. Is the father going to be happy? Naughty, naughty, what you been up to? Father won't be happy. But she had a very, very special blessing that even though she was impregnated, she will still remain virtuous. She will still remain pure. So when it came for the time for delivery, it is explained that the birth took place in the middle of Jamuna Island. Sometimes Jamuna is a little bit short now, but in the days 5,000 years ago, it was very, very wide, and there were different islands. I just got back from Udaipur, and Udaipur has many, many lakes. Anyone been to Udaipur? There's many lakes there and islands. So there was islands, and that's where Vyasadeva took his birth. That's why his name is Dvaipana. So his name is Krishna, Dvaipana, Veda, Vyas. And that's the reason I have this Guru Purnima. Why is he called Krishna? Anyone know? Because he's the same color as Krishna. He's the same color as Sham. And then Dvaipana, it means he's born on an island. And Veda, why is he known as Veda? Because he's the compiler of the Vedas. And Vyasa, that is given name. So Krishna, Dvaipana, Veda, Vyas is the reason why we're celebrating today. It is explained Guru has a certain name. Gu, Guru, means darkness. And Ru means to free. So Guru frees us from darkness. What darkness are we talking about? We're not talking about turning the light switch on. We're not talking about putting the torchlight on. What darkness are we talking about? Om Ajnana Timarandasya. We are born with the darkness that's covering our real meaning to life. We think the purpose of life is to have a good life, to accumulate, to have a good bank balance, to have a nice family. But actually, those things, they just entangle us in the world. So the Guru, he gives us knowledge to set us free. And there's different types of gurus. So there's sometimes in Indian families, we have the family guru who gives us maybe our janoi. Maybe there's a guru who performs the Viva Sanskar. Maybe there's the guru who performs the family rituals. So those gurus are there. Any other types of gurus that might be there? Yes? Parents are our guru because there's two types of knowledge that we acquire in this world. When we're in the womb, there's darkness. And when we come in this world, we get education from our parents to lighten us. So that's the material education the parents give us. And then there's the spiritual education the guru gives us. So then that's one guru. Any other gurus which might be there? It's called Pradakshina Guru, the first person who introduces us to concept of spiritual life. A lot of the times we just get caught up in our day-to-day affairs. A lot of the times we get caught up in the worldly activities of life. We get caught up in pounds and shillings. And we think this is the norm of life. But here's a thought. There's more to life than what's been offered to us by society outside. And that's where the guru comes in. He shows you another path. He shows you the spiritual path. It is explained that we have two births in life. Do you know what the two births in life is? The two births in life is when we take our birth from the parents, and the second is when we know why we are born. And it's the guru who tells us why we are born. We are born with karmic reasons. We take birth in a particular family, but it is the Guru who explains to us why we have taken this janam in this material world. And ultimately, that Guru then slowly becomes what? Your Siksha Guru, your instructing Guru. So we get knowledge from so many different sources. Encyclopedia, we get from the magazines, we get the newspaper, we get Google search. So many gurus are there. But the Guru who gives us knowledge about the purpose of our life is the real Guru that we want to seek after. So those who are serious on the path of spiritual life, then Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita a very, very important verse. Anyone know this verse? Tad vidhi pranipratena pariprashena sevaya upadakshi gyantina gyaninas tattva darshana. That someone who is serious in spiritual life, then they need a guru. Why? Tattva darshana. Tattva means truth. What truth are we talking about? We're not talking about what to put on a butter jam or Nutella. We're not talking about, who is number one in the music industry. That's not tattva. Tattva means knowledge about who you are, the Atma, the self. And darshana, why is the Guru able to impart this knowledge? Because he has seen the truth. He has seen the truth. And what is darshana? Krishna. Behold the beauty of Krishna over there. Ultimately, we all want to be with Krishna. Ultimately, we all want to be in the association of Krishna. Ultimately, we all want to see Krishna. But with our material eyes, it is not always possible to see Krishna. Krishna looks very beautiful there. Krishna looks amazing there. But with our covered eyes, we might not be able to perceive the Shama Shunda form, the transcendental Bhagavan form. So therefore, it is the Guru who will show us Tattva Darshana. And then how do we approach a Guru? Submissively. That's right. Sevaya. So when you have a teacher, you can either argue with him until the cows go home or come home, or you can just submissively ask about knowledge or about tattva. So then once you become serious on your spiritual life, then you've got the instructing Guru, you got the next step, which is what? That's right, Diksha Guru. So we've got Pradakshina Guru, who initially gives you a book, who initially tells you about Krishna, who initially invites you to Krishna, and then through coming in contact with the devotees, then maybe you will come to the next stage, which is Shiksha, and then the knowledge you have slowly solidifies. And then when it solidifies, then when you're 100% convinced that this is the path you want to take, then the next step is Diksha. Now here's something interesting. Sometimes we think if we take Diksha, we need to live in the ashram of the Guru. Traditionally, that was the case. We would live in the ashram of the Guru. We would go to Valmiki's ashram, Vashishta's ashram, Vishwamitra's ashram, and they would impart knowledge. But this day and age, it's not possible for us to maybe live in an ashram because we have other duties, we have other responsibilities in life. So therefore, you can still be on the path of spiritual life, you can still have a guru, you can still take Diksha and still be part of the world outside. You can still be married, you can still have children, you can still own a house. All these things are possible, but what the Guru will tell you, you will have to use them in the service of Krishna. Normally we use this in the service of me, but the Guru tells us we have to use them in the service of Krishna. So that is what the Guru represents. Ultimately, the Guru is the person who connects us with Krishna, Dibya Gyan. He gives us this knowledge so that we can ultimately free ourselves from this material world. If you were stuck, I don't know, anyone ever played this game, Escape Room? Escape room. So you get stuck in this place, and the only way to get out is there's different clues here and there. Is that, yeah? And then you have to try and find out what the clues are, and in this way, you can escape this room. There's no windows, there's no doors, it's all dark everywhere. So the escape room, unless you have these clues, you get stuck inside there. So who gives you this clue in this escape room, in this world? It is the Guru. The Guru is the one who gives you the clues of how to free ourselves from this material world. And where does he get his clues from? The scriptures. And who is the compiler of the scriptures? Veda Vyas. So Veda Vyas is compiled. So therefore he knows, as we say in game, he knows the cheat ways of getting out in the material world. There's Jnana Yoga, there's Karma Yoga, there's Dhyana Yoga. So many different ways we can try and achieve perfection. But if you boil down to it, yes, it's possible through book, through knowledge, that we can ultimately find out who Krishna is. Krishna says that I am the source of the Vedas. All conclusion in the Vedas lead to Krishna. So, but it's a long process. Then Dhyana Yoga, what's Dhyana Yoga? That's yoga, meditation. Sitting still, closing half your eyes, straight back, just meditating on your breathing in, your breathing out, focusing your mind, clearing your mind. How easy is it to clear your mind? How easy is to be thoughtless? The mind is always constantly thinking of one thing or another. So Dhyana Yoga is very, very difficult. Most people can't even stay still for more than 10-15 minutes. Most people are always disturbed. It says that in Kali Yuga, Amanda Sumanda Bhagayo, that we are constantly disturbed by so many things, so many distractions are there in the world. And we are constantly distracted. So imagine trying to just not be distracted is very, very difficult. Karma Yoga, again, not very, very easy. But Bhakti Yoga is the most simple, easiest method to revive our dormant Krishna consciousness. Then all we have to do is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if we're serious in spiritual life, today is the day to meditate on the Guru. Today is a good day to try and ask the Guru Paramatma also represents Guru. And where is Paramatma situated? In our heart. And it's explained in the Bhagavad Gita that he is guiding the wanderings of all living entity. So Rupa Goswami has said that the most important aspect of spiritual life is to have a guru. And guru means to take diksha and shelter. Sometimes we think, I don't need a guru, all the knowledge is there in the books. One disciple told Prabhupada, because there's the person Bhagavad and the book Bhagavad. And the person asked Prabhupada, if there's a book person, why do we need him when the book is there? The book has all the knowledge. We don't need a guru. The book is sufficient. Then Prabhupada told his disciple to come a bit closer, and he came a bit closer. No, come closer. And he came closer. Then Prabhupada grabbed his ear and he pulled it. And he said, the book cannot do that. But the person, Bhagavad, can do that. So, when you study, is it better to study on your own, or is it better to study with the guidance who knows the book? Which is the best way? With the guidance. So it's not easy to understand spiritual life. It's not easy to understand the Vedas. It's not easy to understand Bhagavad Gita. It's not easy to understand. But the Guru, if you remember, Tattvadashana, he understands the truth. He is the one who can explain it in very simple terms. And a practical example is that Bhagavad Gita has been there for such a long time. Even in the West, the Bhagavad Gita has been there. Many English translation. But it wasn't until Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is that people began to understand the importance of what this book is. Why? Because Prabhupada had Tattvadashana. Why? Because Prabhupada had the Gyan, the knowledge, to able to translate Krishna's words in a way that we could understand. If Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to us in Kurukshetra, I guarantee you it will go right over our head. And then after 40 minutes, that's how long it took. After 40 minutes, you're going to say to Krishna, Krishna, can you start again, please? I didn't understand one word. And even Arjuna, even though he's Mahabhava, great personality, even he found it difficult. So Krishna had to explain it a few times to him. So that's why the Guru is there, to help us understand. And there's been many, many gurus that are coming down. And today we celebrate a great saint who is a direct disciple of Lord Chaitanya. His name is Sanatan Goswami. So our tradition in ISKCON, it comes from Gaudiya in Bengal. So India has so many vast different gurus, so many different knowledges, so many different ways that people approach Krishna, different sun stars, different great personalities have taken birth. There's Madhavacharya in South India, there's Ramanuja over there. But for us, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is where our lineage comes from. And he came about 500 years ago in a place what is known as Mayapur. And there, Krishna told us, Sarva Dharma Parityaga, you surrender unto me. And after that, he disappeared. But then how do we surrender? That's why Lord Chaitanya came. He explained how we surrender, how we serve God, how to get love of Godhead. And then he had many disciples that he instructed to explain this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And out of the disciples, there were 6 prominent disciples: Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatta, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Raghunath Bhatta. There was 2 Bhattas, Gopal Bhatta and Raghunath Bhatta. And the senior most was Sanatan Goswami. And today we celebrate his Tirubhava, his disappearance. And he was born in what we call today Bangladesh, Jaisipur. And he had 2 siblings, 2 brothers. The 2 younger brothers who were Rupa Goswami and Anupam. And they were born of a very, very high class Brahmin family. And they were always devoted in serving Krishna. But as they would have it, they were super intelligent, and their father used to work for the local government. So 500 years ago in Bengal, which government was ruling? It was the Mughal Empire. They were prominent in India at that time. So Sanatan Goswami's father, he worked for the Mughal Empire. And then he was a very, very good person. And the king saw that he was very, very smart. And as his children grew up, he also noticed they were also very, very smart. And he engaged them in their work, in the government duty. And they were very proficient. They were very, very good. So it is explained they were manipulated in a certain way to work for the government. It wasn't their desire. They didn't want to work for them, but they were some or another manipulated to work. Otherwise, the Hussein Shah was going to kill the Brahmanas. So they had a choice. Should the Hussein Shah kill the Brahmanas, or should they work for the Sarkar, for the government? So in order not to inflict any pain on the Brahmanas, Rupa and Sanatan decided to work against their will for the government. So how many people have been in a job and they're not happy in that job? Who's in a job? Are you happy in your job? You look unemployed. You got a job? Unemployed, I told you. You got a job? Are you happy or unhappy? You're happy, well done. Yes, in the school of Avanti. But most people are not so happy in their kind of work. So Rupa and Sanatan, they were not happy. Goes without saying. So then in Ramakeli, something incredible happened. Anyone know what happened in Ramakeli? They met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was such a prominent person. His preaching was so powerful, it was causing waves in India. Everyone was talking about Chaitanya. Who is this Chaitanya? What is this Kirtan? What is his teachings? And this information reached these 3 brothers. And immediately they wanted to know who this sensational personality is. So imagine you just got the news, Amitabh Bachchan is in Watford. How many of you will run to Watford? So imagine, it's a famous Indian Bollywood actor. He's like next to God in some people's. So when some great personality comes, whatever you're doing, you just drop and you go and see that person. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Ramakeli, and the three brothers, they went. And they associated with Lord Chaitanya. And for 2 months, they got Tattva Darshana. What's Tattva Darshana? See the truth. They got the knowledge. And then, after being with Lord Chaitanya, the three brothers had a eureka moment. What's a eureka moment? Whoa! This is it. This is what I want in life. And it's explained that Rupa, Sanatan, Anupam were fabulously rich. Now, who's heard of the saying, rags to riches? Rags to riches. It's very, very famous. People from rags to become rich. How about the other way around? From riches to rags. Think about it. From riches to rags. If you were super rich, would you live under a tree? If you were super rich, you had everything, servants, whatever you want, would you give that up to live under a tree in Vrindavan? This is a true story from riches to rags. These three brothers had fabulous wealth. So much wealth. It explained that if you translate their wealth in modern times, they were millionaires. So much money. But they gave it up just like that. So Rupa Goswami, somehow or another, he managed to convince his boss, yeah, I'm not a good guy, I need to go. And he managed to resign. And he went and he served Lord Chaitanya. Sanatan, somehow or another, he didn't have such luck. He tried to tell the king, you don't need me. But the king knew that Sanatan was important to have him in his government duties. And he knew that his brother had gone to serve who? Lord Chaitanya. So the governor was smart, so he locked Sanatan Goswami in the jail, fearing that Sanatan would also run away. And the king, he went to Orissa to try and conquer the land over there. In the meantime, Sanatan Goswami, he was stuck in a jail. It's not a very nice place to be in a jail. But he was stuck over there. Where did he want to be? He wanted to be with his brother, Rupa Goswami. Where did he want to be? He wanted to be with Lord Chaitanya. Because he had a eureka moment. Where was the eureka moment? Ramakeli. 2 months. So then he got a letter from Rupa Goswami. I have hidden 1 million pounds under a tree. Use this to try and get out of jail. So then he started bribing the jailer. Look, I have some money. I have this. Would you please let me go? I can have this money. Of course, the jailer knew this person was important. If I let this guy go, what does it mean the jailer was going to get? Head today, gone tomorrow. But of course, money is always an incentive, isn't it? So then he said, look, just say I fell in the river and I died. So then Sanatan Goswami, with a servant Ishan, escaped the clutches of Hussain Shah. He didn't take the normal road. He took the off-beaten road. Why do you think he took the off-beaten road? Any ideas? Normally, if we want to travel, we go on the motorway. No one wants to take the country roads, isn't it? Windy, this and that, narrow roads or whatever. But Sanatan specifically chose a track that's not traveled. Why? Because he knew as soon as Hussein Shah came, found out the Sanatan is gone, he would have sent constables, he would have sent guards to find him. But if he went on a dirt road, he won't be able to find him. Then Sanatan Goswami, he arrives at an inn. And this inn that Sanatan Goswami arrives is run by a daku. Anyone know what a daku is? Anyone know what a dacoit is? A villain. Dun, 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 dun. Darth Vader. So this inn, where the travelers come, the owner had an astrologer. And the astrologer could tell when the people would come, what kind of money or wealth they carried. So, for example, if you went to the inn, the astrologer will look, yeah, she's got tons of money in her purse. And then while you're sleeping, boop, and they will take your purse. And in this way, they would invite all the travelers. Astrologer will say, yep, they got money. No, they don't have money. And when they found out Sanatan and Isha came, what did the astrologer say? They have some kachings. And then when you have some kachings, what happens? Everyone is super nice to you. Have you ever noticed when you have some money, everybody flocks to you, everyone is very nice to you? If you got a hole in your dhoti, forget that. So then, because the astrologer and the inn people knew that they have money, they were looking after them very nicely. Then Sanatan Goswami is very smart. He's thinking, why are these people being nice to me? All I've got is a big hole in my dhoti. All I've got is just one bead bag. What are they going to possibly achieve from me? Then he said, my servant has some money. And when Sanatan gave the money to the jailkeeper, Ishan, the servant, he kept 8 gold coins for himself. Imagine having 8 pure gold coins. So then, Sanatan could immediately understand, when you have a lot of money, trouble follows you. When you have a lot of money, what happens? Yes. So, that's where Kali resides. So Sanatan Goswami said, what are you doing, Pagal man? We never travel with this kind of money. It's a well-known fact that if caravans travel, if they have a lot of money, then people, dacoits, they loot them. And then Sanatan Goswami took the money and he went to the innkeeper and he says, look, I know you are going to kill us at night because you want this money. Ka-ching. I'm going to give this ka-ching to you. Please don't kill us. A good deal? 8 gold coins for you, no killing us. Good? And then the innkeeper said, that's fine. We got what we wanted. We don't have to shed any blood. Then Sanatan Goswami and Ishan went. But Sanatan wasn't so happy with Ishan. So he said, you should go back, let me go. And then he arrived. And then Sanatan Goswami was all tired from traveling. He had bruises. There was no proper way to bathe. And then when Lord Chaitanya saw him, now think about it, when you see a tramp, how quickly are you going to go and embrace them? If you see a tramp, will you embrace them? Ooh. Probably not. But when Lord Chaitanya saw Sanatan Goswami, immediately Lord Chaitanya embraced him. Because he knew externally he might not look Muchi or clean. Internally, his heart was pure like gold. So never judge the book by its cover. Know what the person's intention is. Know what the person has in his heart. And that's how you'll find what the real person is like. So then Lord Chaitanya embraced him. And what's the first question Sanatan asked Lord Chaitanya? Anyone know? When you see your guru, what's the first question you're going to ask your guru? How I can serve you? Nice one. He asked him, who am I? Who am I? What is my purpose in life? Why did I take Janam? What am I meant to do? Those are the first few questions. And if you go back to some of the early lectures that Prabhupada gave, he was reading from this first meeting that Lord Chaitanya had with Sanatan Goswami, and Prabhupada explains everything very, very, very nicely over there. So over the course of time, Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatan Goswami, and each disciple is given some instruction, some shiksha, what you have to do or a way to repay your debt. What did Bhaktisiddhanta ask Prabhupada to do? To preach in the West. So Lord Chaitanya asked Sanatan Goswami few things that he should do with his life. There's so much to talk about. Time is tick-tock, ticking away. So what are the 4 things Sanatan Goswami had to do that Lord Chaitanya asked him to do? Any takers? Yes? Go to Vrindavan. That's true. But when he arrives in Vrindavan, what did he have to do? Establish temples. Because it's very, very important, you all here in a temple, that there's nice Aksha Vigraha. And Sanatan Goswami has written a very nice book about deity worship, which is called Hari Bhakti Vilas. It's got the A to Z of how to look after the Aksha Vigraha form, how to perform Janmashtami, how to perform Abhishek. And what's the famous temple Sanatan Goswami established in Vrindavan? Radha Madana Mohan. And you can go over there on the Parikrama, and it's a nice tall building over there. Who hasn't been to Vrindavan? If you get a chance, please, this is one of the 6 famous temples to visit, Radha Madan Mohan. Okay, to find the temples, establish them, what else did he have to do? Yeah? Write books. Because let's face it, after today, what I've spoken, I can see you're very attentive. After half an hour, how many of you are going to remember what I said? If I ask you tomorrow, if you remember anything I said, will you remember? No. Come in. Bet here. We won't remember, we'll forget. That's the nature. In one ear, out there. So we have to write. It's important. So books are the basis of getting knowledge. So Lord Chaitanya asked Sanatan Goswami to write books. And then what else did he have to do? That's right, uncover where Krishna performed his pastimes. I was growing up in Harrow. That's where I grew up. In the 70s, I was 7, 8 years old. And when I went there, 30 years later, was Harrow the same? No, it had changed so much. Now imagine 5,000 years later, where Krishna appeared. Do you think things are going to be the same? Do you think things are going to change? Do you think the flow of Yamuna is going to be the same? Things are going to change constantly. Time changes things. Radhakund was lost. Jamuna was lost. Where Krishna's Janam was lost. All things were gone. So then he had to establish where Krishna had his pastimes. And in this way, all these different activities were carried away by Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami, he took a vrata. Anyone know what vrata is? Vrata, anyone know? Nope. Vrata means vow. He took a vow to do parikram around Govardhan hill. Anyone been to Govardhan Parvat? Have you done the parikram around there? How many kilometers? 22 kilometers. And how long does it take? All day, yes? And how are your feet afterwards? Oh, could do with a bit of a massage, yeah? So Sanatana Goswami was doing this every single day. How many times have you done it? I've done it 10 times. He was doing it every single day. And he lived in Vrindavan for 43 years. 365 days times 40. How many times has he done it? Quite a lot of times. So when he was getting old, who's feeling the pangs of old age? So when he was feeling old, do you know who came in front of him? Krishna. And Krishna said, "You are old now, Sanatana Goswami. You don't need to have this vrata of going around Govardhan. Relax, chill. You've done your bit." But what did Sanatana Goswami say? Even God himself is telling him, chill out, Sanatana Goswami. And what did Sanatana Goswami say? A vrata is a vrata. I've got to do it. And Lord Krishna, feeling very compassionate, do you know what he did? He took a stone, he put his foot, he took his bansuri out, and he started playing his bansuri. Very, very beautiful. It is said the Gayatri mantra came out from Krishna's flute. So, Krishna started playing the flute, and it was such a nice melodious vibration. The stone started melting. And then Krishna's